ChatGPT is not an AI agent. It's powerful, yes, but confusing it with a true AI agent is like confusing a microwave with a personal chef. Both can heat up food, but only one plans the meal, gathers ingredients, and adjusts the recipe while cooking. In the next few minutes, you're going to clearly understand the 3 levels of AI tools: LLMs, AI workflows, and AI agents. You'll learn what makes each one different, what they can and can't do, and why this framework matters if you actually want to get work done with AI. Let's start at the bottom level of the ladder: LLMs. When you open ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude, you're using what's called a large language model. This is AI that's trained on massive amounts of text. It doesn't think or plan, it just predicts what the next best word should be based on the input you give it. If you type a question, it gives you an answer. If you ask for a story, it writes one. If you want it to summarize a meeting or fix your grammar, it can do that too. But here's the key: it only does something when you tell it to. You drive the entire conversation. Let's say you ask ChatGPT to write an email to your boss asking for a day off. It will do a great job because you gave it a clear prompt. But now, try asking it when your next meeting is. Without extra tools, it can't help. It doesn't know your calendar, your files, or what time it is. It's not connected to anything unless you set that up yourself. This is where a lot of confusion happens. People assume ChatGPT is smart in the way a human assistant is smart. It's not. It has no awareness of the real world. It has no memory of your day. It only knows the words you type and the data it was trained on. That's it. So if you want something done, you have to tell it step by step. Every time. That's the core of how LLMs work. They're responsive, not proactive. You always lead and they follow. Now let's move to the second level: AI workflows. This is where things get more automated. A workflow is a system you set up to handle tasks without having to ask every time. You connect different tools together using services like Make or Zapier. Then you define what happens first, what happens next, and what happens after that. Let's take an example. Say you want AI to summarize news articles and post them on LinkedIn every morning. You build a workflow that does this. Grab article links from a Google Sheet, send them to Perplexity for a quick summary, then send that summary to Claude to turn it into a polished post. Finally, send the post to Buffer to schedule it on LinkedIn. Now you've got a chain of actions that runs on its own. It's scheduled, automated, and useful. This is way more helpful than just typing prompts into ChatGPT all day. But here's what's important to understand. The AI inside that workflow is still passive. The LLMs are still just responding to prompts. You designed the structure. You told it what to do in what order. If you wanted to check for spelling errors before posting, you have to add that step yourself. It won't figure that out on its own. That means AI workflows are still human-designed systems. You're still in charge, making every decision. The AI just runs the routine you built. They're powerful because they save time, but they don't think, they don't plan, they don't troubleshoot if something goes wrong. If Claude gives you a weak post one day, the system won't say, "Hey, this isn't good enough, let's rewrite it." It just sends it out. So to review so far, we have LLMs at the base, where you type something and get an answer. Then we have workflows, where you design the sequence once and the AI repeats it automatically. But the logic and direction still come from you. Now let's step into the top level: AI agents. This is where the AI starts to behave more like an assistant. Not just responding to prompts, not just running a routine, but actually thinking through a goal and deciding how to reach it. Here's what that looks like. Instead of saying, "Summarize this article and write a post," you say, Create a LinkedIn post about today's top industry news. That's the only instruction. The agent figures out what to do next. It chooses where to get the news, it picks a summarizer, it selects a writing style, it edits and improves, and it checks its own work. Agents can do this because they use something called the REACT loop. That stands for reasoning and acting. The AI thinks about what to do, then takes an action, checks the result, and thinks again. That loop continues until the goal is complete or it hits a limit. Let's say the agent writes a LinkedIn post, then realizes the tone is too serious. It sends the post to another model to rewrite it in a friendlier voice. Then it checks if the final version matches your tone settings. If not, it loops again. You didn't tell it to do that. It did it because it understood the goal and figured out how to reach it. This is completely different from a workflow. In a workflow, if the output is wrong, it just delivers the wrong output. It doesn't stop to fix anything. But an agent checks itself, adapts, and tries again. It makes decisions in real time. That's the power of AI agents. You give them a goal, they choose the steps, they pick the tools, they fix their mistakes. And they can even bring in other AI tools as helpers if needed. You can build your own AI agents using platforms like Crew AI, Cognosis, or LangChain. These tools let you assign tools to the agent, define permissions, and then give it a goal. You don't need to write out every single prompt or rule. You just say what you want done, and the agent figures out how to do it. Now, to be clear, AI agents aren't perfect. They still get stuck. They can make bad decisions. But they're moving toward more independence, more flexibility, and more human-like thinking. That's what makes them the future of AI productivity. So let's break this all down. At the first level, we have large language models like ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude. You type something in, they answer, they wait for you to lead. At the second level, we have AI workflows. These are automated chains of tasks that run on a schedule or based on a trigger. You design the flow, and the AI follows it. At the third level, we have AI agents. These tools can plan their own steps, switch tools as needed, improve their own output, and work toward goals without you micromanaging. Knowing the difference between these levels helps you make better choices. If you just need to brainstorm, stick with a simple LLM. If you want a repeatable system that runs daily, build a workflow. But if you want real delegation, where the AI thinks and adapts like a junior employee, start learning how to use agents. It also helps you avoid frustration. A lot of people get disappointed when ChatGPT doesn't act like a full assistant. But it was never designed to. If you treat a basic tool like an advanced agent, you'll always be disappointed. Once you know the difference, everything makes more sense. How do you use AI at the moment in your daily life? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this.